What's up? How y'all doing? It's Todd Martinez from your San Diego Dynasty, and you're here watching Splat XD Pro School with me. All right, guys, one of the most important things that I want to talk about here in this edition of Pro School is your mindset going into a competitive paintball game. It's very important that when you're playing a game, you're always mentally focused. You can do all the preparation you need on the field at practice to go through how you're going to hold your gun, what spots you're going to play, the strategies that your team's going to go over. But on a personal level, you really need to think about going mentally prepared. You watch a lot of other pro sports, and I like to use other pro sports such as basketball, baseball, football, you know, and how those athletes prepare themselves mentally to go into their competition. Well, paintball is the same thing. You got to be mentally focused in order to be able to play to your best ability. Some of the things I do to mentally prepare myself going into a game is just to visualize my spots. As I walk the field, I don't necessarily have to stand out there and pretend like I'm shooting my gun or anything like that, but stand in your spots and see yourself shooting the bunkers in front of you. Imagine where those other players are going to be and see yourself shooting those guys. See yourself making moves up the field. Okay, think about yourself winning. Anything that you can visualize that you want to see happen, make sure you go through that in your pregame, when you're walking fields, and when you're going over game plans with your team. Mental preparation is a very key element of winning paintball games because you want to be focused on what you're doing while you're doing it. Okay, you can't be going in thinking about other things or not be fully paying attention to how you're playing your bunkers, how you're holding your spots, because if you're not 100% focused, you're not going to do everything 100% accurate. That's why when you're going through things in practice and going through some of these drills that we're going to talk about, you want to make sure that you can do everything perfectly at 50% before you're trying to start doing 80% or 100%. So as you're going through these drills, practicing your techniques, or just even field walking, go through everything slow. Don't rush through things. Go through and think about what you're doing and make sure that all your fundamentals are correct. Fundamentals are the most important thing that we can talk about in any sport, so you got to make sure that you can do those things properly before you start getting into advanced techniques. A big part of having a good mental focus is having confidence in yourself. Having confidence that everything that you did in practice, everything that you trained for, and having faith in yourself and your teammates is going to be what you're going to go out and put out on the field. You want to make sure that you believe in yourself, you know, and be happy that you practiced as hard as you could, walk the fields as best as you could, and go out and just try to execute everything that you practiced for. Hello friends, Todd Martinez here from San Diego Dynasty. You're watching Splat XD Pro School. Hello friends, I'm so happy that you can join me, Todd Martinez, on this happy, joyous, wonderful day of Splat XD Pro School. In this edition, we're going to go over lots of nifty, cool, sweet, awesome stuff, and you guys are going to be really happy and be like, hey, that Todd Martinez guy, he deserves a thumbs up. Yo, what up, motherfuckers? This is Todd Martinez, the baddest, most gang-bangingest, most big-wheelingest, killingest, cap-peelingest mofro on the planet, all right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to go into what's that thing called? The pro school. The pro school. We're going to do the pro school today, and because I was a pro, I was going to tell you how you need to be schooled. You know what I'm saying? As a professional paintball player for Team Dynasty, we're lucky to have some of the best sponsors in the industry. To start off, the most important thing in paintball is your protective gear. We're lucky to be sponsored by JT USA. They provide us with our jerseys, our pants, our pads, and our goggles. Also our gloves. Keep my pretty hands warm when I get my manicures and stuff like that. We also use View Loader's JT Velocity. Smart Parts is our sponsor for our markers. We all use Dynasty Edition shockers. It's a custom-made gun just for Dynasty with our own special body cut. We all use All-American barrels and Smart Parts Max Flow air systems. Another one of our big sponsors is NXE. NXE provides us with our own custom harnesses, tank covers, barrel condoms, and luggage. They make great products, and it's important to be comfortable when you're on the field, to have things protect your tank, you don't ding up your bottle, and have the thing blow up and your whole face blows off, you know, because that'd be terrible, because then you wouldn't be half as good looking as I am right now. One of the main reasons why we're able to do what we do on Team Dynasty is because we have such a great paint sponsor. We're sponsored by Great American Paintballs. They make the Dynasty Edition banana ball and give us an unlimited amount of paint. And without being able to play as much as we do, we can't practice as hard as we can and have the success that we do. So big thanks to Big Richard over at Great American Paintballs, providing us with as much paint as we need to go out, play paintball, be good, and have fun. Thanks, Rich. Rockstar Energy Drink. Picked up us this year, been taking care of us, help us get to events, provide us with cool frosty beverages to keep us energized, motivated, you know, and fun dudes to party, hang out with. Another special thanks goes out to Trevor from Badlands in Canada. Badlands is probably one of the biggest distributors of paintball in Canada, and they've been taking care of us for a few years, helping us get to events and providing us with whatever we need. I'd like to personally thank Chris Corsino and John Marquez from Hybrid Technologies, now known as Modified, and all the contract killer clothing, apparel, and products that they've made over the years and taken care of me. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. So, my name's Todd Martinez, Team Dynasty. That's our gear. When I need to get my fucking guts pumping, I drink fucking Rockstar. Rockstar. Too bad they don't make it in 40 ounces. If you're a basketball fan like I am, you've probably been watching the NBA Finals recently. Well, you listen to the announcers and they'll talk about how basketball is as much a fourth quarter game as it is a first quarter game. If you can come out in the first quarter and bury a team and get a big lead, you know, it's a lot easier to support a lead than to be playing comeback all game for 48 minutes. Just as in the fourth quarter, you know, if the game's close, you got to be able to finish off your opponent. You got to be able to put them away at the end to win the game. Well, paintball is the same way. Paintball has been said that you can win the game in the first 30 seconds, which is completely true. And that comes down to fundamentals once again. The fundamentals of being able to sweet spot players on the break is what helps you gain advantage immediately as soon as the game starts. You want to be able to turn, put accurate lanes down so you can try and shoot as many as the opponent's front players, back players, whoever you deem the easiest player to shoot on the field, and try and get a couple of those guys off right away. In the same sense, you got to be able to close out a paintball game once you are up on numbers towards the end of the game when you got to finish it, time's running down, or you just have the advantage on the field, you need to put the other team away. So the fundamental we're going to talk about now is sweet spotting. You want to be able to have a good stance in the flag station, to be able to just turn and develop muscle memory to get used to turning and shooting a lane and shooting targets accurately with your first stream of balls. Players only have a few seconds on the break to turn and get a good lane down, and hopefully a player will run directly through the lane of paint that you've laid down because of your field walking, where you figured out that these are the most important bunkers and players are most likely going to run to those spots. So how we're going to work on sweet spotting is standing at this flag station and turning and shooting a target repeatedly for just our first stream of paint. So we're going to simulate the breakout and just keep running breakout drills over and over again, getting used to turning and sweet spotting our opponents. We're going to use the same stance as we do in sweet spotting as we do in snap shooting. So I'm going to start with my gun on the station, an athletic stance with my knees bent, and my gun shouldered, my head up on the target, so that when I turn my gun and begin my motion, after I've shot my stream, I'm ready to go in my bunker and play paintball. So as you have the gun in front of you, you turn, and you shoot the lane. And you just get real comfortable, just bringing it up. Nice and slow, nice and casually, and making sure that your first stream goes directly where you want it to go so that you can continue it and then get into your spot and play paintball. So as you would go into the game, after you turn, shoot your lane, you're going to come up, and you're already in position to start playing however it is that you're going to play. Always practice with both hands because you never know what side of the field you're going to be on. One of my most favorite drills that you might recognize from Dynasty that I sected to is the slalom course. And basically what we're doing with that is we're zigzagging in between bunkers, running to each bunker, pulling up and shooting a target at the next spot. What this does is help practice running, sliding, pulling up and shooting things with your first shot, as well as changing hands and being able to remember to run with your gun up as you move from spot to spot. It's a good conditioning drill, it's a good accuracy drill, and it's a good positive habit forming drill as well. Another thing we can do is incorporating our sweet spotting drill in with the slalom drill. And basically what we're going to do is start off on the flag station the way we probably would to start a game, take and shoot our first stream into the opposing flag station. So we'll start with that, and we'll go right in. Ready? Man, I'm showing tired after doing that 777 times. Yeah. You ever see Trevor from Badlands? That's exactly what he looks like. He's a crazy little freaked out Canadian guy just running around. You see him, he's running around all the tournaments. You go to the tournaments, you see a little crazy little maple leaf guy running around. He's only about, that big, you know. Just you see him, he run by the floor, you feel a little tickle, something runs just by me. That was Trevor, man. Those little Canadian dudes, they're sneaky, crazy, dude. Look at that moment. Man, you think that dude, they didn't check his passport when he came into the Estados Unidos? I think not, man. You gotta watch out for these dudes. They're crazy. Sneaky dude. The most important aspect of paintball is the fundamentals, just like any other sport. You got to be able to dribble the basketball before you can run and start going through your legs, behind your back, crossing people over, taking people to the rack like I do. It's just like paintball. You got to be able to hit your targets when you come out and see them, okay? You see so many players these days that have wide open shots and just blow their shots as soon as they come out. So snap shooting is always the #1 most important fundamental that you can work on. So we're going to come out here today, and I just want to tell you that it's very important that when you go through these drills and start practicing your snap shooting, do them as slowly and as fundamentally sound as possible. Come out, take your time, and take well-aimed shots and get comfortable with the gun that you're using. I use the Smart Part Shocker. I know how this gun shoots. I've been using it for a few years now, so I know that when I come out, how I'm holding my gun, where the ball's going to go is always going to be the same. So to practice snap shooting, we use every different obstacle that you might encounter on a field at different distances to try and make sure that when you be in any spot on the field, you'll feel comfortable coming out and taking well-aimed shots. So to practice, we like to start off by taking just like 5 shots from each side. You got to be able to use both hands, so that's why it's important to practice with both hands and get comfortable so when you're playing on the field, you're doing everything as fundamentally sound as possible. So we're going to start with this temple. We're going to go from 3 different stances. We're going to start with the temple. We're going to use a little baby tombstone and a stand-up can. So we're going to simulate shooting from like an athletic stance, the most natural position that you'd be in any sport, with your knees bent, your elbows and your gun tucked in, with your gun in front of your face and your knees bent. You're going to come out and take a couple snapshots from the temple. All right, and then we're going to move on and working for shooting from our knees. Make sure to do everything properly. We're going to shoot from one knee behind this little temple, on balance. You notice from the last pro school, usually you find these bunkers in the snake. See how Brandon Short likes to get himself positioned so he's stable so he can come out and snap shoot. Always want to make sure that you're in a good position so where your center of gravity is balanced and that you can just come out and take well-aimed shots comfortably. This is how I like to do it. Switch hands. All right. Then we're going to move over to the stand-up can. Similar athletic stance. Elbow tucked in. Gun on your nose, knees bent. Little head check. When doing your snap shooting, make sure you go everything. Make sure to check everything off so that you're doing it properly. Have your knees bent beyond your toes. Have your elbows tucked in. Your body square to your opponent. And do everything properly. And then pick up the pace and start doing it faster and faster as you get better and better. You can never do enough snap shooting practice. There's one thing, it's like shooting free throws in basketball. You can never do enough. Just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. Always take a couple times, at the end of the day of practice or before the day of practice, get out there and do some extra snap shooting. It'll help your game drastically. All right, friends. The first thing we're going to talk about today is beards and how cool beards are. A very important part of paintball is having a really great beard. It's just like hockey. You can't be a fighter. You can't get in the mix and get your hands dirty and get bloody and get crazy if you don't have a really ferocious looking beard. So make sure that you get a nice thick beard going as soon as you can, and you keep it rugged and dirty and grungy and funky, and you'll be a good paintball player. A very difficult technique to master is being able to shoot on the move. There are many things that you can be able to do to practice shooting on the move because you're going to use it game after game in every situation, every scenario. You always want to be able to put your opponents in on the run to be able to get from spot to spot. One of the best ways to practice is just from the start station. Okay? The key to being able to run and shoot successfully or accurately is to be able to keep your lower body moving while your upper body stays still. Okay? So half of that is doing the core fitness training stuff that all pro athletes do to be able to have a strong upper body, strong legs to be able to move and keep that body still and be able to make well-aimed shots on the run. So what you want to do is, the drill that we're going to do is going to be starting from the flag station with your feet square, your head up, your butt down and looking down the field. Have your gun on the flag station, and as you take off, you really want to bring your gun up and have it on the target as you start moving, okay? And you want to keep your legs moving and your body still as you shoot the target till you get to your desired spot, and then stop. Once again, The key to getting good at this drill is to be able to do it at a slow enough pace where you can do it properly before you try and rush it and not do it right and develop bad habits. So we're going to start off at about 50% as we go running and shooting. Again, you're going to see our upper body stay still, making well-aimed shots, and keep our legs moving. As I go, head up. And finish on out. Hustle back. And pick it up. See if we can do it a little bit faster. Once again, the key to doing this is just doing it over and over and over again. Just like snap shooting, it's like shooting free throws. All right. Boils down to this. If you can run and shoot somebody in the goggles as you move from bunker to bunker and then dive in, it looks really cool, okay? That's how you get on videos, cameras, and magazines. That's how you get all the chicks, okay? You run and shoot, you shoot people in the face on the run. Chicks love you. Chicks dig it. It's awesome. And grow a beard. Dynasty Chest Day, okay? This is BC, and this is Dave Baines. Here's a little Dave Baines. You guys watch the corners, okay? You guys hold down the corners. You protect, make sure that their little bad guys don't come running down our wire over here. Don't come down the snake guy, okay? We'll put Angel. Angel's on the snake side. All right, Angel, you go down the snake and shoot all these dudes in the back. That's how that's gonna work, okay? And then we're gonna have all these little entourage kids. We're gonna send the stupid entourage kids up the middle and hope they all get shot or run over by a bus or something like that, okay? And then we'll have King Rao and Queen Greenspan sit back here in the back, and those two will hold down the fort. They'll protect the flag base, okay? And then we'll have a little Chucky Schwartz. Chucky Schwartz will run up behind Angel, then he'll run all the way back behind Mrs. Greenspan and Queen Greenspan, then he'll run down the Dorito side and shoot everybody. Oh, Chucky got shot. That's okay. We lost all the entourage kids too. All the entourage kids are dead, but that's okay because we got BC and Dave Baines coming down with Angel and just whacking dudes down left and right. I hope that wasn't expensive.